just from Max, but from his circle too. Phase members, streamers, collaborators. Nobody seemed to know what was going on. People in chats would ask, "Where's Max?"
Raid
And the
said
answers
they'll
were
free
always
him.
vague.
What?
He's good, he's just taking a break, he'll be back
Gotta
soon.
be a joke. Music
Meanwhile,
ain't that
rumors
honest.
started flying.
Ain't all that
He's
honesty.
good.
Bro,
We
good
talked
as
about
chat
it
is so
yesterday.
annoying.
You
Good
guys will
vid.
hear from him when you hear from him. You know what I'm saying? But he's good. Like nothing happened to him. It's nothing like that. You know what I mean? But he'll explain it. You know what I mean? When he's ready. You know
All right, that's all we need to see, bro. That's all we need to see, to be honest. Nigga like me don't need to watch full vids, bro. I kind of get the idea. It's just kind of crazy, bro. Niggas just can't let niggas live, bro. Will Smith is everything wrong with Hollywood.
Will Smith is everything wrong with Hollywood. You see, he had everything. He was one of the most loved people in Hollywood. He had all the fame, success, and money you could ever dream of. He had one of the most diehard fan bases. He was the leading man in all the biggest movies, and seemingly had the perfect family. But as we all know by now, a lot of the
Who thought this was the perfect? At what point did anyone think this was the perfect family? Can we look at this cast of characters for real quick? And why is it that these four have marks, but this nigga has nothing? Did you just leave him out the family like they did? Bro, I never even knew this nigga was alive. I never knew. He doesn't even look like he belonged to the family, bro. I never knew this nigga was alive in the first place, bro. That's already strike one. That's strike one. This nigga was never known to the public for real. I mean, I guess, but it's like this, you know what I'm saying? Jaden Smith though, nigga cooked in the Karate Kid. Willow Smith, she cooked with, oh my gosh, don't tell me she got the motherfucking Elements periodic table on her cooch. What is her time of the month? Karate Kid, nigga. I ain't seen him in nothing after that, bro. That's why I knew something was wrong. I ain't seen him in much after Karate Kid. I really can't think of any other movie he's been in. Fuck! I didn't mean to close that. I can't think of any other movie Jaden Smith has been in.
Will Smith is
How do you spell it? Jaden Smith. Give me the. That's one of his like movies and shit, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. I hate this new AI shit, bro. Like, damn, why do I gotta specify movies? I don't want the fucking summary of James Smith, bro. Okay, no, Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah, that was first, obviously. The Day the Earth Stood Still. I don't know what was that about. Karate Kid. After Earth. Okay, wait, no, yeah, that was that bullshit movie. I remember. I didn't watch it, but. And after that, that's it. That's it. Oh, he was in Intergalactic? They got the Killmonger look. That's it, bro.
everything wrong with Hollywood.
The
You
amount of
see,
shit
he
Will
had
Smith was
everything.
on, bro.
He
That's
was
what I'm
one
saying.
of the
Like,
most loved people in
I knew something was up,
He
bro.
had all the fame, success, and money you could ever dream of. He had one of the most diehard fan bases. He was the leading man in all the biggest movies, and seemingly had the perfect family. But as we all know by now, a lot of this was just a facade, and the cracks in his perfect image started
Oh, it's because I timed it wrong. That's what it was. It was like an animation thing he was doing. I just paused
Whether it
it.
be him getting lectured by his wife Jada for her cheating on him with his son's friend, all while he agrees to let it be posted on the internet for the world to see, or just being relentless.
Crazy error, by the way. Crazy error, by the way. I forget that happened, bro.
Endlessly emasculated, weak, spineless, and eventually even slapping Chris Rock in the most embarrassing event of the decade. It became very clear why even slapping Chris Rock in the most embarrassing event of the decade. And eventually even slapping Chris Rock in the most embarrassing event of the decade. It became very eventually even slapping Chris Rock in the most embarrassing event of the decade.
I was there, bro. I wasn't there, but you know. I was there. I was there, bro. Imagine what was the Oscars? That's what they go to. Oscars, bro. I don't watch it. I don't nothing. Nobody watches the Oscars, bro. So imagine my surprise when everybody, bro, one of my at the moment my best man's is telling me, yo, did you see Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith? Nigga showed me the video, bro. Like 30 million views on YouTube alone, bro. 30 million views on YouTube alone. It hasn't even been a day, something like that, bro. It was wild numbers, bro, and I was like, nah, nigga. Like this is. I thought it was fake, bro. Cause I'm like, look at the
Spineless.
we
and
broke it down and
eventually
we
even
analyzed
slapping-
it. We said, do we think this is fake, right? Cause look at him. Look at him. My nigga looks like he's been practicing. And nigga Chris looks like he's been practicing to take that slap. Damn, why is Will like tweeted up while you doing it though? So it's like, I don't know, bro.
Chris
I
Rock in the
keep
most
let me
embarrassing
thumb
event
through
of the
video.
decade. It became very clear why today, Will Smith is one of the most hated celebrities around. His arrogance, spinelessness, narcissism, and fakeness makes him impossible to take seriously anymore. But after a good few years of rejection, he faded into the background. Chris Rock mocked him in his special, everyone laughed at him, and he just became irrelevant. But having been the Hollywood darling that he was, he needed to change his image if he were to ever stay relevant, famous, or even get whatever acting role was left for him.
come back.
He had to do something. Because his public image was probably at the worst.
He did
it
a
could
streamer
ever
KSI,
be.
that's what he did,
And in
nigga.
recent months, we've all been able to watch it. And the way he's been going about this is a warning to any out-of-touch celebrity on exactly what not to do. Being one of the
Oh, shit,
worst
there you go.
PR runs imaginable. And to see what I mean, let's take a look at the end of March, when he released his first album in over 20 years. It seemed out of nowhere that suddenly Will Smith just started popping up all over the place. But ostensibly it might have just been to promote this album, as it seemed like his first shot at reconciliation with his audience. Or maybe he just hoped his rawness would change people's hearts. After all, he claimed it was about the parts of himself that had been banished, and that he wasn't allowed to talk about on the radio.
Bullshit.
As if
Bullshit.
the real him was gonna come out, and the spineless cuck version of him was gonna just magically disappear. But what he got instead was even more ridicule. People just called the album cringy, corny, and calculating, and quote, a pointless apology tour for the dumbest Oscar gaffe in history. He then released his next shot at becoming famous through music, with his new song called Pretty Girls, and the response was absolutely hilarious. You see, the music video for this song had insane production quality, but it didn't take long for the video to get a 60% dislike ratio, from people calling it a
bro.
midlife crisis to a humiliation
Damn, bro.
ritual, as some people called it, quote, the gayest straight song they'd ever heard. One commenter even begged the actor to take what dignity he had left and fade into a distant memory, making him
You might have to call it quits, Will. William, I'm gonna tell you, bro. You might have to call it quits, my brother. I don't know, bro. It's tough because I seen him on Black Boy Max's stream, and nigga was he did a like one take rap, bro. But it's like, I feel like all his fans today are only dick riders, right? He can't make new fans. And he's not making new fans because he's not making new shit. You know, the argument, whenever Will Smith raps, there's always going to be someone in the comments saying, this is Will Smith you're talking to. This man he's a Grammy Award winning artist without cursing. That's the same argument. He's a Grammy Award winning artist with no cursing. Okay. Did he win it again? Has he won it recently? You know, I don't. Like, what did. I get it, bro. That's a big thing to win a Grammy without cursing. No one's ever done that, to my knowledge, in terms of rap. But, they probably got some awards in Kids Bop for some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he got to go to the Kids' Choice Awards. Maybe he has to make that route, bro. I don't know. I don't know what he has to do. Honestly. I honestly don't know what he has to do. I really think it's just over, bro. Like, that slap, that was it. You know, when Jada came out saying he was getting dick.
Him even more of a joke.
And then on
So
top of that,
he
he got
changed
some
his strategy.
involvement with Diddy.
How could he become relevant to Generation Z if not through music? Well, he had to tap into the TikTok audience. With his calculating strategy with his team, he would pour all of his money into getting whatever relevance he could through social media. That's why suddenly people started noticing on their algorithms Will Smith was everywhere, with random TikTokers like Brooke Monk. It was just so strange. Talking with people he had no association with and no connection with most of the
Yeah, I was seeing this, Will. I was like, hey, man, I don't know what's going on, my brother. Let's hope money got you there, and let's hope that you're not doing
people
nothing
being
weird.
at least 30 years younger than him. It just looks so weird and strange. It was as though each appearance was a calculated attempt by an entire team of people in Hollywood to show Will Smith in a more positive light. Because what better way to get in people's good books than paying off a bunch of influencers and riding off of their clout? But unfortunately, his strategy didn't work. Take for example his interview with the School of Hard Knocks, a YouTube and TikTok page about financial literacy. Suddenly out of nowhere, there appears Will Smith, and he seemed like he was trying to be open and honest with his responses. He spoke about how money didn't bring happiness, how fame was isolating, and some of the emotional struggles he had faced.
And it's a terrifying place when you realize nothing material can actually satisfy you. And
Cap, money buys happiness. I don't care what nobody says. Only rich niggas say money doesn't buy happiness. I don't believe anybody, bro. Money will indeed buy happiness. I don't care what anybody says. If you give me $1 million today, you just bought my happiness for 1,000,000 years, my nigga. Eternally grateful. No one ever tell me that money doesn't buy happiness, because it does. It do. I can buy myself a spinny hat and that'll make me glad, nigga. Niggas don't understand that, bro.
it's a similar
Stop saying money doesn't buy happiness.
Bottom. And the realization.
The problem is you just not where you used to be, and that's why you're not happy. You're not happy because you have money. Like, money isn't making you unhappy the same way you're saying money wouldn't get you your happy. Nigga, no. You already got happy from the money. That's already done. It bought you your happiness. It's like a... But the niggas think that money can keep buying happiness. Money can buy happiness. Money just can't keep buying happiness at a certain level. If that makes sense. You can buy your favorite meal, your favorite snack one time. You gonna bust that bitch down. If you buy that shit every day for 1 month straight, you are not gonna like it after week 1. Promise you, that happens to me all the time. Everywhere I go, I get like... I worked in Brooklyn and I would eat like food, and I would literally get the same shit every day because I only have a set amount of time for lunch. I don't like wasting time looking, so when I find something I like, I just go and I get it. There was a month where I literally went to the same pizza spot every day, got the same medium small pizza. It was like a small pie. Ate the whole bitch down, ate cash every day, no fail. And after a month, I was like, bro, pizza's making me sick. I did the same thing with chicken and potatoes. Pizza's making me sick. Chicken's making me sick. Money can buy happiness. It just can't keep buying happiness, bro.
What you're actually looking for is...
His problem is when he bought the happiness with money. Like, when the money came through, it came with other shit. It wasn't just money. He had the love of everybody. I promise you. If everybody loved Will Smith the same way they loved him on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the same way they loved him on iRobot, the same way they loved him on The Pursuit of Happiness, if everybody loved Will Smith that same exact way, guaranteed, he would not be saying money can't buy happiness. He would not be saying this shit. He would not be upset. He would be perfectly fine. He's missing the love that he got with the happiness. He doesn't want the... It's not the money that got him happy, nigga. The money never really made him happy. He didn't really buy the happiness. It was the fame and the love from the niggas that he had that was making him genuinely happy. And that's what he misses.
Actually look...
Did he finish his weight loss thingy? I seen him
for
start it.
is
I
a
don't know if he
comfort
finished it.
that will only come with you totally by yourself with none of this shit.
And to be fair, this is something that happens with a lot of celebrities. If they have a movie to promote or a song to promote, they'll go on random podcasts to try and get a little bit of
20 pounds in
relevance
20
to
weeks.
promote their movie or upcoming project. But something about
Did he
this
do it?
interview didn't seem normal. It was as though everything was rehearsed and way too polished. Like he was trying to be someone he isn't.
Yes, he did.
As though the entire world would just forget about all the stuff that had happened a few years ago with him and Jada and the Oscars. It was all too fake and the comments called him out on it. But despite not getting the reaction he'd been hoping for, Smith then kept on pushing. He was going to force himself onto everyone's algorithms until he could finally become relevant again. As the entire industry of Hollywood relies on this, because if he's not relevant anymore, his entire life and soul will be stripped away from him. But it's almost jarring to see somebody manufacture themselves into relevance this much and so visibly and obviously. Like on the 11th of June 2025, when people in London walking past King's Cross Station were greeted by an interesting sight. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Will Smith was performing some of his greatest hits from the 90s. It was just out of nowhere, completely unexpected, and a big crowd started going around the actor. This time, he would appeal to people's sense of nostalgia. The old Will Smith. The one before Hollywood corrupted him. The world wants that so bad he even told the host of the Broken Record podcast.
The world is so desperate for nostalgia right now.
Yeah.
The world wants that so bad, and it's like people just yearning for, you know.
Who cuts his hair? I want Will Smith's barber. Dude, I want his barber. Like, how does he do that? Is that just hair genetics? Or is his barber doing something, bro? Because why is his... It's always so clean, bro. It looks fake. And the thing is, I noticed ink on it, but it's like you barely can tell, bro.
A time when things were a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And he might be right in that sense, but when you actually look at the crowd while he performs this music, it's completely dead and the vibe just looks extremely boring, as people called out in the comments. It was just too obvious what he was trying to do, and it still seemed like none of this would help Will Smith's image. Any of his attempts at quote-unquote authenticity just felt shallow, and the nostalgia aspect just made people sad how much Will Smith had actually fallen off. So he would try one more trick, this time by forcing himself onto KSI, a sudden out of nowhere friendship that definitely wasn't strategically planned and probably paid off for. You see, recently you might have noticed them together. They've now been doing a few TikToks together, and Will Smith even supported KSI at a Legends v Creators football match. But people didn't really think too much of it so far. There wasn't anything that out of order. Until
shit, KSI growing a
played
beard for
his
real
most
now?
recent Try Not to Laugh challenge, which included Will Smith. KSI's audience did seem to like the dynamic, and watching Will Smith navigate a new sphere of the internet. But the elephant in the room was just so obvious that this was nothing more than a publicity stunt trying to force himself onto everyone to like him again, which is
I mean, it's not the worst stunt, though. Damn. He should have never put his head down. Damn. Okay, now you can see the inking. Now you can see that he should have never put his head down. Damn, bro. Now you can really see his age, bro. Nah, gang. He's bald. This isn't his hair. Nah, Will Smith is bald, bro. But nah, like I was saying, bro, I think KSI... It's the same way Logan Paul did it, bro. Like... It's probably gonna work out for him, honestly. Honestly, make a fucking brand with KSI, my nigga. Make a prime like thingy with him, bro. Go make a brand. Cause the way the KSI Glazers work, bro, it's like no matter what this nigga do, at the end of the day, there'll be niggas sucking his dick all the time, bro. What the hell? Niggas trying to make sure I'm not a bot. Oh my gosh. Wait, no, it's been fine.
is one of the worst ways to be liked in the first place. All being a PR stunt designed to try and recapture the identity he used to have, but now a middle-aged man with a broken family and a stained reputation, which the comments would let him know about. Almost everyone in the comments would refer to the slap, whilst others just call this out as a desperate PR move. People roasted Will Smith for trying way too hard to stay relevant in one of the most cringy ways imaginable. And again, these collaborations with these influencers, especially with KSI, just seem so out of touch. Like he just went online, typed in famous influencers, and decided to go with the biggest one, even if they have nothing in common and nothing to actually share of value. And while you could say they have a common interest in music, KSI is not exactly known just for his music. But maybe he just did this because KSI's audience is also known for being unquestionably loyal to KSI.
Yeah, Russ, I've been saying.
Supporting all of his endeavors. Maybe Will
I've been
Smith saw
saying,
this,
bro.
hoping to cultivate a similar fan base, leech off KSI's one, and try and appeal to Generation Z. But the fact that this is so spectacularly failed really points to one of the major problems in Hollywood. No one cares about celebrities anymore. The celebrities of the past are done. People don't care about the Hollywood industry or the actors involved. You see, his failing redemption arc is a warning to all Hollywood stars. Every year, there's more of a disconnect between regular people and Hollywood elites. Just a decade or two before, celebrities from Hollywood were basically untouchable royalty. People would never hear from them unless there was some kind of scandal or they would speak in an award show or interview. Everything was perfectly laid out for them. The laughs were pre-recorded, the press coverage was manufactured, and their true selves was hidden behind their gated mansions. They lived their whole lives almost completely separated from the rest of the world. But after more and more videos of these people began being posted online, all the virtue signaling during COVID, the Imagine song, from all the creepy Diddy parties and all the out-of-touch woke political virtue signaling that went on for years, meant that their pure narcissism was finally exposed online and people began to despise them. We also saw this clearly with Rachel Zegler. She was doing great, getting huge roles at such a young age. She was literally destined to be one of the most beloved Hollywood stars. But unfortunately for her, her rise came at the very wrong point in time. You see, once she managed to be cast as Snow White, the dream job of almost any young actress, her real self was finally revealed to the world through interviews, and people for the first time actually came together and saw how hollow most of these actors really are. People just called her out on it this time, as dismissive, arrogant, and virtue signaling. And while she probably was just saying whatever she thinks Hollywood wants her to say,
she's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
the tone of it all really alienated
Oh,
everyone from the movie, all at the worst possible time when people were already hating on most modern actors and most modern remakes of movies. As by this point, after years of this stuff never ending, people just don't care about what they have to say. We're just now at a point where we dismiss these celebrities, as you can literally smell their false relatability a mile away. It's quite the contrast from just a few decades ago when celebrities used to be praised for their speeches, and they actually did seem to care about certain issues, and oftentimes this made people feel seen, and so these Hollywood actors gained more fans and ultimately more money and power. And so they would do whatever they could to tap into this more and more, saying whatever they thought people wanted to hear. Which is why we can now see these speeches for what they are. It's just performative word vomit to get people to stroke their egos, get them better roles, and more influence. And now they have no power. Look at any of the recent US elections. No one actually cares what celebrities have to say about these people, or even just the success of recent movies. Not that long ago, people would queue outside the cinemas just to see the next big movie. They'd follow any movie with the biggest stars' names attached. But oftentimes now, these movies just bomb at the box office. People are over all of this stuff. No one cares who's even
Teenage
acting,
crowd,
and the
brother.
performative activism is just so nauseating. And people today in 2025 just have much bigger
Scratching
things
my
to
back,
worry
not my
about.
ass, y'all.
Nobody
Make that
wants to
clear.
be pandered to. Well, see, I'm just like you moments. All people want is to be entertained.
Was that real? Hang on, not because I'm on some horny
Nobody
shit, but
wants to be pandered to. Well, see, I'm just like you moment. Much bigger things to worry about. Nobody wants to be pandered to. Well, see, I'm just like you moments. All people want is to be Nobody wants to be pandered to.
what? Why the bitch look like Green Michael Jackson?
Well, see, I'm just like you moments. All people want is to be entertained, and if celebrities aren't
Ah, she look
provided,
like
then
Wicked
fine.
Michael Jackson,
Well,
boy. What
and
the
this is why
hell?
Will Smith just can't make a comeback. The whole situation of him slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars was so outrageous
form, though,
that it
arch
finally
back.
woke people up to the bizarre fakery and uncaring attitude of Hollywood elites. None of these people care about you. Even for Chris Rock, nobody protected him, nobody stopped this at the Oscars, and then Will Smith went back and sat down, and then he got an Oscar afterwards and a standing ovation. without anyone actually coming out of their own bubble to realize how bizarre and sociopathic the industry truly is. I mean, is it any wonder that LA and Hollywood itself is literally crumbling today? It's clear that this is just a dying industry. And so with all of Will Smith's new press tour,
bro. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I didn't see Joker. Bro, I was so excited till they said it was a musical. Why did they make it a musical?
trying to fix his image, thinking all humans can just ignore the past and believe in anything they're told, is just a clear reflection of why nobody cares about actors, Hollywood, and all the BS they do anymore. And to be honest, it's quite satisfying to watch it all fail in real time.
Oh, that's it. That's a strategy right there, my nigga. Hey, anyone making videos like this, like narration videos,